Welcome to the deep dive. If you manage an apartment complex, maybe a condo community, basically any multifamily housing, you definitely know that safety is, well, it's the constant challenge, number one, really. What's truly exciting now, though, is how video security has fundamentally changed.
Yeah.
We are so far past the days of just simple CCTV recording, where you only look at the footage after something terrible has already happened.
That's exactly the shift, a really critical one. We're moving into this era defined much more by proactive deterrence. The sources you've gathered review the absolute latest generation of security systems. We're talking 9 leading solutions plus one particularly detailed integration example. And they're all leveraging the power of AI, artificial intelligence, and cloud technology to detect threats practically in real time. They send instant alerts, and the whole focus is shifting towards prevention.
Right. So our mission today is really to unpack these different solutions. We want to distill what makes them unique and, maybe most importantly, what the actual trade-offs are.
Yeah.
Because when you're evaluating these systems, you're always doing this balancing act, aren't you? You're weighing, say, cloud convenience against maybe integration complexity or that upfront hardware cost versus, long-term subscription fees.
Exactly. And we're seeing two, let's say, major security philosophies really crystallizing here in the sources. On one side, you've got these really powerful, often proprietary hardware systems coupled with open unified platforms,
Right.
big control. And then on the other side, you have the pure cloud native solutions. These are designed much more for simplicity, ease of deployment, and massive scalability across multiple sites.
Okay, let's maybe unpack this by starting with the most detailed example in our source material, that AlphaVision and Axis integration. This pairing essentially marries AlphaVision's AI-driven platform, they call it physical AI, with Axis communications cameras, which are pretty much industry-leading, right? We're talking next-level hardware here.
Oh, absolutely. You're starting with serious enterprise-grade performance, stuff that's built for resilience. Axis cameras, they're renowned for just unmatched clarity. They have capabilities like, get this, up to 40 times optical zoom.
Wow, 40x.
Yeah, incredible for capturing fine details from way off. And they offer full 360-degree panoramic views, which basically eliminate those costly blind spots you get around a property perimeter. Plus, they're rugged, weatherproof, and designed to be highly vandal-resistant. Built tough.
Okay, so the hardware is the eye, makes sense. But the AlphaVision AI, that's the brain then. The part that turns these cameras into what the source is called active security agents. What are the core analytical features that enable that kind of real-time response?
Right. So the AI engine provides these specialized behavior-based analytics. A key time saver is something they call magic search. It's the ability to instantly find video clips just by searching for an object or maybe a specific action instead of, painfully scrubbing through hours and hours of footage.
That sounds incredibly useful.
It really is. And this is paired with intrusion alerts for real-time detection of unauthorized entry and LPR, that stands for license plate recognition, for monitoring vehicles. There's also an AI inspector tool that automatically runs safety and compliance checks. Pretty neat.
Okay, that real-time capability, that must lead directly into this live intervention strategy people talk about. Because getting an alert is one thing, but actually stopping an incident while it's happening, that's the real goal of proactive deterrence, isn't it?
Precisely. That's the game changer. Live intervention uses two-way audio through network speakers integrated into the system. This allows security teams, often remotely, to literally talk down to trespassers or issue very explicit verbal warnings. Just imagine, maybe an alarm triggers in a restricted maintenance yard late at night. A remote guard can immediately broadcast, "You are trespassing, vacate the area now." That alone could de-escalate the situation before any damage occurs.
And the sources mentioned a real-world example of the speed this system offers. They talked about the magic search feature helping out in the latent bomb threat investigation. How does that actually translate into faster results in a real case like that?
Well, it accelerates the investigation dramatically. Think about it. Instead of security staff having to manually watch, say, 80 hours of maybe low-res video, they can use Magic Search to just query the footage. Something like, find all instances of a person wearing a blue backpack near the main entrance between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m.
Okay, yeah.
This instantly filters down potentially days of review work into minutes. It just accelerates suspect identification and provides that crucial forensic evidence almost immediately.
And crucially, especially for organizations dealing with sensitive data or maybe government compliance rules, this specific integration is noted as being 100% cloud native. That means no on-site NVR or DVR needed, right? And it's fully TAA and NDAA compliant.
Yes, and that TAA and NDAA compliance is absolutely critical for peace of mind in many sectors. It essentially means the hardware supply chain is secure. You're ensuring you aren't using surveillance equipment manufactured by sanctioned entities. That's a major factor for enterprise clients, government contracts, that sort of thing. The other big benefit here is simplicity. Adding a new site or even just a new camera is genuinely plug and play. It eliminates that heavy IT lift you get with traditional systems.
Okay, so that's a strong look at a specific AI and cloud-focused integration.
Now, if we look beyond that pure cloud-native approach, we find managers who maybe prioritize maximum control. They want the ability to unify vast, complex security environments, and that brings us to the platform giants, starting with Genetec.
Right, Genetec Security Center. That name comes up a lot. It seems like the definition of a comprehensive platform. It unifies video surveillance, access control, even analytics, all under one roof, basically. The main appeal there must be its open architecture, the fact it supports hundreds of camera brands.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's positioned as the ultimate central hub. It allows operators to integrate maybe existing legacy hardware alongside new sensors and cameras. This gives you that truly centralized visibility across an entire portfolio, from the entry doors to the parking structures. It doesn't really matter who made the hardware.
Okay, but that level of total control and integration,
Mm-hmm.
it usually comes with a trade-off, doesn't it? It's probably not convenience. What's the compromise that property managers need to be ready for if they go down the Genetec route?
Yeah, you hit it. Complexity and cost. The documented drawbacks include a pretty high initial cost, licensing, modules, all that adds up. And it's a complex, resource-intensive deployment. It typically requires expert IT configuration. Probably the biggest practical hurdle for many multifamily housing managers is its strong on-premise reliance. Sure, remote access exists, but managing the core functions. That means you own the server room, the cooling, the maintenance, the whole IT burden. It's incredibly powerful control, but it is definitely not set and forget.
Okay, moving to another hardware powerhouse then, Avigilon, which is part of Motorola Solutions now. They're also known for high-end cameras and AI, often designed for mission-critical, sort of high-stakes environments. What's this signature feature there that helps speed up investigations?
Avigilon's hallmark feature is definitely appearance search. It's a real game changer for forensic investigations. You can quickly locate a specific person or vehicle across hours, maybe even days, of footage just by searching descriptive attributes. For example, you could search for person in a red jacket walking toward the main lobby around 8:30 p.m. It also integrates things like LPR and works seamlessly with emergency alarm systems.
That appearance search feature sounds incredibly powerful. But, like Genetec, I'm guessing that power comes with corresponding limitations.
It does, yes. The costs are definitely premium. You're looking at a significant capital investment, especially in their proprietary cameras, if you want to use the most advanced AI features. Furthermore, the deployment is complex. It usually requires professional integrators, and like Genetec, it is primarily on-premises. You're also pretty much tied to Avigilon's ecosystem if you want that full advanced feature set, which, limits your hardware flexibility down the road.
Okay, so those are the big, often on-premise integrated systems. Let's pivot now to that pure cloud-first philosophy we talked about earlier. These systems seem to prioritize easy deployment and remote management, often aiming for that single centralized dashboard. Verkada has become a huge name in this space.
Yeah, Verkada is really famous for that centralized single pane of glass approach.
Yeah.
They integrate not just cameras, but also environmental sensors, access control, the whole package. Property managers often love the seamless deployment. The cameras basically come online with minimal IT hassle, and the integrated deterrence options like built-in alarm sirens or two-way intercoms on the cameras themselves.
That simplicity is definitely attractive. But where does that system start demanding, well, either money or IT time in the long run? What's the catch with Verkada?
It mainly manifests in two areas: vendor lock-in and ongoing expense. Because Verkada uses proprietary hardware and software, customers are completely tied into their ecosystem. You can't mix and match easily. And the ongoing subscription costs for the cloud storage and the analytics, they can be quite high. This makes the long-term cost of ownership potentially much greater than the initial upfront cost might suggest.
Okay. Then there's Rhombus systems. They seem to follow a similar cloud model, but are maybe specifically tailored for multi-site portfolios.
That's a good way to put it. Rhombus really excels at remote monitoring and unified management across many different properties. Their focus is on AI-powered search again, by person or vehicle, and smart integrations. For example, linking door entry events directly to the corresponding camera footage for quick review. However, the caveat, as with really any pure cloud solution, is that mandatory reliance on consistent, high-speed internet. If the internet goes down, you lose visibility.
Right, that's a key dependency.
Definitely. Plus, you have the recurring subscription costs, same as Verkada. And there's the potential for AI accuracy variances. Sometimes you get frustrating false positives, which you need to factor in.
Okay, then you have Eagle Eye networks. Now, they seem to be trying to bridge the gap between that open architecture idea and cloud convenience. How do they do that?
Eagle Eye is a major global leader in pure cloud-based VMS, that's video management system. What makes them pretty unique is that they are camera agnostic. They use a small on-site appliance, they call it a bridge, to connect virtually any existing IP camera to their cloud VMS. This is actually perfect for situations where you want to modernize an older deployment without ripping out and replacing all your existing cameras. You can get cloud benefits like natural language video search almost immediately.
So if Eagle Eye lets you use all your old cameras, where does the new complexity or maybe the cost surface?
It surfaces in a couple of places. First, internet reliance is absolutely mandatory. Stable, high-bandwidth internet isn't just recommended, it's required for it to work properly. And second, even though you're using your old cameras, you still need that hardware bridge device on site for each location. And you are fully locked into a recurring subscription model for the cloud service and the storage. So the cost isn't necessarily in the capital expense of new cameras, it's shifted to the monthly operating expense for the service.
Got it. And finally, in this cloud focus group, we have Spot AI. This one sounds like it's aimed squarely at those who just want to add modern intelligence to their existing, maybe basic CCTV infrastructure.
Exactly. Spot AI is designed as a quick plug-and-play retrofit. You connect their appliance to your existing cameras, even older analog ones, sometimes via encoders, and it instantly adds modern AI capabilities, giving you that powerful Google-like video search across your existing footage. It uses a smart hybrid storage approach, too. It records locally onto the appliance for reliability, which is great if the internet hiccups, but it leverages the cloud purely for the AI processing and search. It's a really effective way to defer a massive capital replacement project. However, its ultimate effectiveness, well, it's fundamentally limited by the quality and the placement of the existing cameras it connects to.
Oh, right. Garbage in, garbage out, basically.
Sort of. If the camera provides a blurry, poorly lit feed, the AI can only do so much with it.
Okay, that makes sense.
So let's look at maybe two final but still powerful approaches that depend a bit less on continuous cloud connectivity. Hanwha Vision, for instance, focuses heavily on edge AI. What's really fascinating here is that their Wisent cameras actually feature built-in AI chips.
Ah, okay. So the analytics like object detection, forensic search capabilities, that stuff runs right on the camera itself, not necessarily in the cloud or on a server.
Exactly. Running analytics at the edge on the device significantly reduces the network load. It can also speed up response times, which is crucial in large complexes where maybe bandwidth is inconsistent across the property. Hanwha also integrates some pretty powerful audio and visual deterrents directly onto the cameras, things like strobe lights and speakers that can automatically trigger when an intruder is detected. That's pure deterrence, embedded right into the device.
But the cost. The cost of these sophisticated cameras with built-in AI chips must be pretty high up front.
It is. They definitely require a significant initial investment. The upfront cost for these professional-grade cameras and often their specialized NVRs is substantial compared to simpler cameras. Also, while Edge AI is really impressive for immediate detections, it's generally considered less sophisticated for complex long-term behavioral analysis compared to what the vast, continuously learning cloud platforms can potentially achieve.
Okay. And then finally, we have Milestone Systems. They're different again, right? They don't actually make the cameras, they make the software.
XProtect.
The leading open platform VMS, which acts as the kind of central brains of the whole operation.
That's right. Milestone's key advantage is unparalleled flexibility. It's designed to be the ultimate chameleon in the security world. You can mix and match pretty much every camera brand imaginable. You can incorporate specialized third-party AI analytics from their huge marketplace of partners. You can create incredibly custom rules, for example, flagging anyone loitering in a specific stairwell only after midnight. It scales exceptionally well for really massive installations.
But for, let's say, the average property manager overseeing maybe 5 or 10 mid-sized complexes, this level of flexibility, that almost sounds like building a rocket ship just to deliver a pizza.
Yeah.
Where does that massive flexibility become a drawback in practice?
That's a great practical question. For smaller or even mid-sized portfolios, the complexity is indeed the main downside. Deployment and ongoing maintenance require strong in-house IT support or specialized technical expertise. It's just less accessible for standard property management teams without that deep IT bench. The total cost of ownership can also be high, not just for the VMS licensing itself, but because the core VMS often lacks the cutting-edge, real-time AI threat detection out of the box. You typically have to continuously pay for and integrate external, add-on analytics plugins from third parties to get that modern deterrence capability. It's powerful, but it requires effort and ongoing investment.
Okay, that's a lot to consider across these 10 solutions.
Yeah, and if we try to synthesize all the learning from these sources, the decision for modern security really seems to rest on a fundamental philosophical choice these days. It's not just about cameras anymore, as you said. It's about choosing between maximum control, which you tend to get with those open architecture, often on-premise systems like Genetec or Milestone, and maximum convenience. And convenience is the massive appeal of those proprietary, usually cloud-native solutions like AlphaVision, Verkada, or Rhombus.
And it feels like the unifying force, the thread running through every single one of these sources, is that clear shift toward proactive deterrence. Whether that proactive action is driven by sophisticated cloud intelligence, like AlphaVision's Magic Search letting security teams respond faster, or whether it's provided by hardware right on the camera, like Hanwha's integrated strobe lights. The ultimate goal seems to be the same across the board. Stop security events before they even have a chance to escalate into something serious.
Exactly. And this really raises the final, maybe provocative thought for you, the listener, to explore as you evaluate these next generation tools. We've seen solutions here that are very focused on being Tanda-A compliant, ensuring that secure supply chain. And we've seen others that rely heavily on really advanced AI features like facial recognition or persistent license plate recognition. So given that these systems are deployed in residential settings where people live, what balance between those cutting-edge features that promise safety and the robust compliance or privacy safeguards that protect residents? What balance is the most critical factor for success? That feels like the new boundary that security technology is navigating right now, finding that sweet spot.
That's a really important question to end on. Thank you for trusting us with these sources and letting us take this deep dive into the future of tenant safety. We'll catch you next time.